Okay, this is our next lesson. It's going to be on simplifying and, excuse me, simplifying and multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay, simplifying fractions, you're going to look for the greatest common factor. It doesn't necessarily have to be the greatest. You might have to do more than one step, but we're going to look for a common factor. Okay, so earlier I had the fraction 4/10. Is there a number that I can divide 4 and 10 by? Well, they're both even, so I can divide them by 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2, and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Therefore, 4/10 simplifies to 2/5. If I gave you the fraction 12/18, is there a common factor between 12 and 18? You might say, yes, they're both even, so I want to use 2. I'm going to show you this multi-step method. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. Does there happen to be a common factor between 6 and 9? 3. So when I divide them by 3, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 12/18 is equivalent to 6/9, which is simplified to 2/3. The greatest common factor between 12 and 18 is 6. So had we divided by 6, we would have gone straight to 2/3. If you happen to have a fraction that has a variable in it, so what if I had 9x squared over, I don't know, 21x, okay? Well, 9x squared, x squared means I have two x's, so that's 9x over 21x. And if you remember from a few weeks ago, I said if you have a variable in the numerator of the fraction and the denominator, those can cancel each other out. Then I need to look at 9 and 21. Is there a common factor between 9 and 21? They both can be divided by 3. So 9 divided by 3 and 21 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And I still had an x. Where was it? It was in the numerator, so it becomes 3x over 7. Okay? I'm going to briefly talk about multiplying and dividing fractions on page 291 in your textbook if you want to follow along. In your book, they use this prime factoring method. I'll talk more about that in class. I'm just going to multiply some basic fractions like 1/2 times 3/4. I'm going to multiply the numerators, and then I'm going to multiply the denominators. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is 3/8. I could try another one. What if I had 5/7 times 3/4? Again, I just multiply across the top. The numerators becomes 15. The denominators becomes 28. What if I happen to have a mixed number like 3 and 1/2? We'll talk about that in class on Wednesday night. We'll talk about changing these to improper fractions. To do that, we take 3 times 2, and then we add 1. So we multiply down here, and we add here. So it becomes 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and the denominator will always stay the same. Now, when we're dividing fractions, what if I had 3/4 and I was going to divide it by 1/2? You're going to find that we can't divide fractions. We multiply by the reciprocal, which means we keep the first fraction, 3/4. We change division to multiplication. The reciprocal is flipping the fraction. So they switch places. 1 goes to 2, 2 becomes 1, so it becomes 2/1. Now it's a multiplication problem. Multiply the numerators, 6. Multiply the denominators, 4. It's an improper fraction. We can change it to a mixed number, and we need to simplify. We'll talk more about that in class on Wednesday night. Let's just do one more dividing fractions. What if I have 1/8 divided by 2/5? Okay? Keep the 1/8. Change division to multiplication. Flip this fraction to 5/2. Then I'm ready to multiply my numerators, and I get 5. Multiply my denominators, and I get 16. 5/16 is my answer. There is simplifying and multiplying and dividing fractions.